Now that we have examined the Edit Trend menu, let's take a closer look at aggregates and draw styles. Axiom has a few different ways that it can represent the data on your screen from your trend chart, and it's helpful to understand how Axiom handles the draw styles. The Axiom core, which is installed on the Canary Historian server, is aware of the pixel resolution of my device. When I ask for data, Axiom understands my capacity to see that data, meaning how many pixels I have available to display the data. So for example, I'm currently looking at 1 hour's worth of data. If I have a single value every second, that would be 3,600 values to display. If I only have 1,200 pixels available, and I'm in the time average draw style, Axiom will do the math and understand that it has 3 values per pixel, and will prepare a time average for each pixel, and then display that time average. I also have the ability to switch the draw style. Maybe I have a larger amount of data that I need to view, so instead of 1 hour's worth of data, I want to look at 14 days worth of data. In this event, there are several hundred values that need represented behind every pixel. And again, in the time average draw style, Axiom is calculating the average value per pixel and drawing that. Let's look at what happens if we shift and change the draw style. For my CPU usage total tag, let's change the aggregate from time average 2 to minimum maximum. I will now see the full range of every pixel and all the values behind it. The max-min draw style will show us some maximum and minimum values behind every pixel, and it changes based on how much data we are trying to represent. Now that you understand the basics of draw style, let's talk about time interval. And I move the time span picker back to 1 hour's worth of data. Currently, the draw style is set to 0 seconds of time interval. You see this right here underneath aggregate interval. That means every single pixel gets the minimum, maximum aggregate applied to it, and that I'm not grouping a set of data into a larger time interval. But let's see what happens when we change that interval. So as I said, we have a 1 hour duration of time on the screen. If we change this to 10 minutes, I expect to see 6 distinct time buckets of the minimum and maximum values. And you see those time buckets displayed on the trend chart. Now let's narrow that interval. If we change it to 30 seconds, we see the minimum and maximum values for that time period. And this applies to any of the aggregates. So as you can imagine, it's very important to know which aggregate picker is set to your chart. The minimum maximum time average 2 is a great one because it will display the minimum value, time weighted average, and the maximum value in the interval, including simple bounding values. You might notice some of the aggregates have a 2 next to them, and that means there was a shift in the OPC Foundation definition of the aggregates. We support both the original definition as well as the updated version of those aggregates. The one with the 2 designation is the newer, updated version. And I would encourage you to take a minute to explore each aggregate and the associated definition to learn more about the options provided.